Hi folks, welcome back to the Academy here at Chesterfield Golf Club. It's actually been a while since our last video, but what we're wanting to achieve and focus this year is a lot more content, and this content is going to be a little shorter than what's been out in the past, but we're going to put a lot more content in, especially instructional, and we're going to do some reviews on different types of equipment. This video is all going to be about how we can improve our turn and especially our backswing. Turns are kind of the wrong use of the word. I like coil, but if you can get in the right position at the top of the backswing, it's going to make it much easier for us to come down with a lot more power, speed, and if you suffer from a slice, to try and straighten that out as well. As you can see, it's getting a little bit dark here now, so I'm going to head indoors and I'll see you in there. Welcome back inside, everyone. Thanks for joining us. And I'm going to say us because we've got Trev in the corner in his bed. Hopefully he's tired enough that he can just sleep through this video. If not, you might see him walking around, squeezing a tennis ball. It's not my knees, honestly. So in this video, we're going to talk about the word turn and how we can improve that, because what we see at the Academy here is a lot of people doing this wrong. And one area in particular that can really set ourselves up for a lot of inconsistency and the sequence to be wrong, especially coming down into the ball. And the inconsistency we see there can be slicing, lack of power, but multitude of things. So what I'm saying really is the word turn. Now, what a lot of people do is what's called a reverse pivot, but the steering wheel behind a bad turn can be the right hip. So what we've heard in the past is potentially getting weight onto our right hip. Now, the quickest way we'd like to do that is kind of just bump our right hip here, our right pocket. That's actually putting weight on my right side. But what in golf that's going to do, that's going to make our spine angle tilt. So this right side bumping too much and not twisting is going to stop our turn from happening. As you can see, I'm kind of limited with the amount of turn. So although I've got weight on my right foot and my right leg, I'm tilted over the ball. And if the swing's a mirror image, you're going to want to create balance by then lifting back and tilting back on the follow through. That can set yourself up with some problems, especially fatting, lack of power. So what you really want to try and achieve in the backswing is you want a bit more coil. Now what that actually means is the way your belly button and your belt buckle is able just to twist a little bit. Now we're not talking about over twisting and locking the right leg, just a little bit of a twist here. So you can see as I twist my belt buckle, now my spine's in a completely different position than it was before, and you can see kind of the split screen there. One good exercise you can do at home, it's in the middle of winter now, not a lot of people are playing golf. You can do a few exercises indoors. This is a great one. So you can take your address position and just get your butt of the club into your belly button, into your belt buckle, around about that area, and just keep it there. So what you're doing now is you're just twisting everything, keeping everything exactly the same. So when I look down, this club is pointing kind of over my heel here. Got a little bit of, not tension, but a little bit of weight going into my right side. So you can see I'm just twisting very slightly, and that's all that's needed. So from your position, from a clock face, I'm kind of pointing at 7 o'clock here. What I don't want to do is kind of over twist, and it's going to mess you up even more. So don't over exaggerate it, just keep it nice and smooth, just a little twist of everything. And from here you're pushing your arms out away from you, keeping everything the same hip-wise. Twist, push. And you can see I'm in this position now, quite wide. I've got some gap away from my elbow. I'm in the correct position now to drive forward. That's for another video. Show you one more time. Up into my belly button. I'm kind of between my belly button and my belt buckle. Up, little twist, push away. Now from the actual start, I'm trying to mimic that same position. You can see the difference in the spine angle now. My spine angle is much more away from the ball without having to sway off the ball, because when you think about it, if my right hip bumps and I need to sway off the ball, I'm going to be too far off it. and I'm not going to have the time to come back into the position I want to impact. So a great exercise to do, especially indoors. You can do it at the driving range, 2 or 3 before every shot, especially number 1, which is doing this, and you're trying to mimic that same position. So you can see my spine angle is actually tilted away from the target here, but my head hasn't moved. And that's the secret. I'm still over the ball, I'm still coiling, but I haven't swayed over the ball. So I'm turning and coiling, but my head, as you can watch that backswing, relatively still. All I'm doing here is a little bit of a movement here, and then it allows me, it's like the key that unlocks the coil on the backswing. Not really a turn, there is a turn of my shoulders obviously, but it's actually a torso turn. It's like the whole thing. Okay, let me just whack one, and that'll be the end. Feel it a little bit in my waist. Even for an old boy like me. Okay, hope that helps, and I'll see you on the next one.